morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone on YouTube and the great beyond. This is Internet Uncapped. I am one of your hosts, Mitchell, and I am joined by, introduce yourself. I'm not going to do it for you.
I guess that's one way of saying it.
Yeah, do it.
Mother.
Do
yeah.
it.
All right. Hi, my name. Okay, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. My name is. My name's not by the way. It's
Yeah.
Evan. It is Evan. I am your second co-host for this podcast, the very first episode of Internet Uncapped.
Mm-hmm. And we are sponsored by no one, so don't worry about that. No pesky ads on this one. So, again, this is
not yet, but hopefully we'll get a sponsor soon. I'm a little shameless about that, but
I'm
we'll
if we do, I promise it's going to put my cats through college. I promise. My cat's names are
Figaro needs his degree in economics.
Sylvester wants to go for neuroscience.
Yes, right.
All right. So, this is something that we call Internet Uncapped. It's something that we're still kind of working out. We're working out the kinks, and we're trying to figure out what do we want to talk about. We want to talk about internet culture. We know that much, but we don't know what direction to kind of take it in, or if we want to, do a variety of topics. So we're kind of, we're going ahead. We're going in head first, ramming down the door, trying to see what fits, what sticks, and we're just gonna have fun along the way. That's what it's all about. And appreciate everyone tuning in, and we're in for a wild ride. So let's have some fun doing this. And one thing that me and Evan were both really passionate about is video games. Well, just media in general. We really love media, whether TV, movies, podcasts, YouTube videos, video games, comic books, anything of the sort. We're really passionate about those things. And recently I've been getting back into playing one game, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2. So I posed the question to Evan recently, who he did not play Red Dead Redemption 2, which is I personally think it's a sin, Evan. I think you gotta play it. Whether you come over and you play it, that's one thing, but you gotta play it. The story, the environment, everything about it, absolutely fantastic. I know that you did play Redemption 1. So,
yes.
Yeah, I mean...
PS3.
Yeah, PS3. Yep. So, I mean, you do understand the world, the atmosphere, but I mean, Red Dead Redemption 1, the Red Dead Redemption 2, completely different. Absolutely 110% completely different. So, I mean, and just for a little bit of, info, it came out, Red Dead Redemption 2, that is, October 26, 2018. And it's beloved by fans. When you hear people talk about it, I mean, you hear me gushing about it. You hear other people, they do the same thing. They gush about how great the game is. Talking about the different mechanics and how it's just so detailed. The world, the characters, everything about it is just absolutely fantastic. And Evan, again, you played the first game, so just real quick, what do you remember from your experience of playing Red Dead Redemption 1?
Yeah, so, it's been a while since I've played it, but what I do remember 100% is how atmospheric the game is. You're in, a western, a small little town, and you're an up-and-coming bounty hunter. And what was really great that I noticed and I can recall was that you can buy certain items, you can buy horses, you can buy certain parts of land for like a farm. And of course you can get bounties for, criminals that you have to either kill or, capture or bring back to the marshal or whatever. And what was also really cool, and I think a lot of games were doing it around the time that it was coming out, but it was that every decision that you were making really counted toward the campaign of the game, and that Mitchell mentioned one time before that it's like you go back to like a red cashier or a bartender or whatever, and they'll remember like certain actions that you did like in the earlier part of the game, and so like everything just really added up and everything really counted. It wasn't like you're going mission after mission after mission after mission. It's a very holistic approach to to video gaming, and I definitely want to get back into it. I haven't played video games in forever, but I definitely would go back to Red Dead Redemption and really dig more into it.
Yeah, and you're referring to the honor system. Yeah, so when you go ahead and they have the fame and the honor system, so if you're a good guy, people will be like, oh, it's John Marston. He's he does all these great things. Blah blah blah. You have low honored. They're like, that's John Marston. The guy's an asshole. Like that's how they treat you. And then you have the fame system where your notoriety. Like if you're known for like just catching everyone and you're known as one of the best guns ever, people are gonna go ahead and say, oh, that's John Marston. He fought the whole gang. Blah blah blah. And it's and again, the world building was absolutely phenomenal. But Red Dead Redemption 2 takes it to a whole nother level. And everything. When you go to Saint Denis, Evan, it is I can't even describe it to you. It is insane, absolutely insane. So I mean, you're gonna have to come over and try it. Like legitimately, you're gonna have to come over and try it.
Well, what are some differences? What are some differences between the two towns in Red Dead and Red Dead 2?
So I mean, when you play the obviously the technological advances between when Red Dead Redemption 1 was made, between Red Dead to that and Red Dead Redemption 2, you're talking about PS3 to PS4. Technology is obviously better. It's gotten better. And with Red Dead Redemption 2, there's more detail. Like the way that you skin animals. And Red Dead Redemption 1, it was, he would take the knife and go, and that was with all, like, the big animals. And it was the same animation every time. And then for the small animals, it would just be, and he would just cut it real quick. And then for decent sized animals, he'd go. So it depended on the size of the animal that you were getting. In this one, in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's more detailed. Like they actually, I don't know if they reached out. They probably reached out to someone who's a hunter, and was like, "Oh, you killed a moose. How do you skin it?" Well, I cut here. I do this. And you can actually see like the cuts on the animal, and you see Arthur, who you play as, he actually does it. Mm-hmm. So it's that detail is absolutely insane. Yeah, and there's so much detail that when you go to a snowy area and it's cold, the horse balls shrivel up.
What does that mean?
It's because it's cold. The horse balls shrivel up, like the nature interacts with the environment. So,
got it.
Yeah, and you have to dress warm as well. So like you can't just wear like a tank top. Your character needs to go ahead and wear a winter jacket.
Right.
So it's just things like that. So
that's really cool. That's really good. And again, it's pretty true to the holistic part of the game. It's like every decision matters. And that's really cool that they are accounting for weather, hunting, and all these other kinds of things to add on to that level of what what was existing already in the game. That's really cool.
Yeah, and again, it's just that level of detail. It doesn't go unappreciated. There's so many people, so many fans that talk about those details and say how great it is, and how much they love those details. So I mean it's something that again the fans appreciate. They love it, and they want more of it in their games. So I mean, it's something that maybe over time they'll be able to. I mean, I hope they do I hope they do a third one. I hope they do. Will they? We'll find out. I mean, only time will tell. Only time will tell. And looking at the information as far as like what it took to make the game, the revenue, RockStar Games, they've shown with GTA Online that they rather make a game, get online microtransactions, and not make another game. And they're going to make cheap updates after cheap updates. And I think it's also the fact that they are trying to push boundaries with games. I mean, when GTA 5 came out, it was so like, whoa, what? It's a convertible? Huh? Like that at the time, you're talking about 2013, everyone thought that was cool. The fact that if you're unarmed in your vehicle, you can flip people off. Everyone was like, huh? DSP, huh? What? And we're gonna get into that in a little bit. I can't wait for that.
We're gonna get into that, but for now. But it is interesting. Yeah, you just press like a few different buttons, and then you just like, whoop.
Yeah, and you can just flip them off, and you
or
can
like text people, or like there's all kinds of details.
It's again in 2013, that's what we're talking about. But again in 2013, right. That game GTA 5 is still at the time that we're recording this. It is February 23rd, 2025. That's when we're recording this, and GTA 5 is still alive. still very much active, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people still playing the game, and it's absolutely insane. And yeah, I got an article here from InvoGames.com, and they talk about some of the most expensive games. GTA 5 was number one with 265 million. Cyberpunk 2077, 174 million. Third place, Red Dead Redemption 2, 170 million. And again, this is from their article, and the article was posted at February 5th, 2024. So, this is over a year ago, but still 170 million. And I got another article here as I go ahead and I pull it up here. And it's the revenue from the game, and if it'll load for me, that'd be lovely. But it talks about the revenue from Red Dead Redemption 2. $971,661,103. Now, the $170 million, that was strictly from the development of the game. That is not including marketing. Okay? So the $170 million was not including the marketing. And from the marketing, it is suggested that anywhere from another 200 to 300 million. Let's go bigger. Always go bigger. 300 million, 170 million. You are talking $470 million. You times that by 2, you get what exactly? You're going to get $940 million. 940. And again, I'm going to go back to the price that I said beforehand. $971,661,103. It's $30 million. $30 million over double. So,
might as well round it to $1 billion, because that's basically what the game is. It's $1 billion game.
Yeah,
really.
and that's not. And at the time that this was posted, the date. I'm trying to find the date on here. I can't find it. But I can't find the date on here. Unfortunately, I thought I had highlighted it, but I guess not. But it doesn't matter. If this included like sales from this year too, I mean, like you said, maybe it's $1 billion now. Maybe there's people that are getting the microtransactions now. Who knows?
Right.
But
who knows?
If you get to $1 billion, you're still making a lot of money. But Rockstar's looking at it like this: we're making millions on millions on millions on GTA Online from people buying shark cards, $20 a pop. And it makes more sense business-wise. Not that I agree with it. I would love for them to make more games. But from a business aspect, as I right-click on the screen. From a business aspect, for them, it is just, let's make this. It's easy. Keep producing content. Keep doing it. And what happens? Well, you make a lot of money. You make a lot of money. And that just makes sense. I don't like it. I hope that they make another Red Dead, but is it going to be sometime soon? No. I think it's going to be longer. It was 8 years, 2010, 2018, 8 years. Look at 15 years. I think it'll be 15. I don't think... I legit think it'll be like a 15-year thing. It took 2025. They're saying GTA 6 is going to come out this year. That's 12 years. It's going to take longer for Red Dead. And GTA 6, if it plays out, if it pans out like the way they think it's going to pan out with GTA 5 and GTA Online, might be longer.
Who knows if GTA 6 is even delayed again? Because we don't know if we know it might be coming out spring 2026 or something.
Fall
2026. Maybe. They had a lot of time to develop.
They said fall this year.
Oh, fall this year. Sorry.
Yeah, fall this year. And to me,
we'll see.
I mean, Rockstar has a history of, like with Red Dead Redemption 2, 2016 is supposed to come out. They said spring 2016. Then they said fall 2016. Spring 2017. Spring or fall 2017. Then they said spring 2018. Okay, fall 2018. And then everyone was like, okay, just pick a date. But I respect companies that postpone games. Postpone games until you get it done. I respect them more for doing that. And then they finally went ahead. They got it out, and one of the best games ever. Legitimately, one of the best games ever. And with GTA, they've taken a strong stance. They posted some stuff online. claiming, Take-Two Interactive has, that it will come out this year. They've had a strong stance that it is going to come out this year. And maybe that does happen. I can't predict the future. Maybe it doesn't. I lean towards I think it's going to get postponed. They haven't shown a second trailer yet. We're in February. We're about to get into March. You say fall. What's fall? Fall is September, October, November. 9, 10, and 11. We're about to go into month 3 out of 12 in a year. So there has to be a second trailer. There has to be a second trailer soon. Otherwise,
I'm also leaning that it's going to get delayed. That's really what my original point was. Like, we'll see. Again, we will see. If they could do it, great. But if they get delayed, no surprises.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not holding my breath. I'm not. I think, again, with the way that Rockstar, their track record, their history, I mean, I would love for it to come out this year. Do I think it's going to come out this year? No. I don't think so. So, I mean, we'll see. Over time, we'll see what happens. It'd be great if they did. And if they don't, I mean, I'll find something else to play. I'll stick with GTA 5 and GTA Online. I'll play Red Dead Redemption 2. I'll play... what else am I playing? I'll play Power Wash Simulator. Take that. No, I mean, I've been playing... I'm going to play the Indiana Jones game. That's the one I'm going to do next.
Oh, right. The Circle of Destiny or something?
Yeah. You cut out for a second there.
God. Yeah, something like that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, Circle of Destiny is what I said, I think.
Yeah, we heard you. Yeah,
I heard pretty good things about it. I haven't heard raving reviews, but like pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't wait for that. We'll see how that goes. I think it's gonna be fantastic. So we'll see what happens in only a matter of time. I mean, I'm gonna only matter of time before I play it, and then I'll let you know how I feel if I love it or not. I'll be like, Evan, this sucks, or I'll be like, Evan's, hey Evan, that's pretty good. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, I mean, Red Dead Redemption 3, something that I think is gonna happen. But will it be called Red Dead Redemption 3 or will it be called something else? To me, when I look at Red Dead Redemption, I always look at it as a story about the Marston family line. And what I mean by that is John Marston has always been in it. You've always been able to play as John Marston. I forgot the YouTuber, but someone had mentioned that Red Dead Redemption is Jack's story. Jack Marston, his son. Because he's in every game and, like, you know, he's very young in the first one. But the thing is, it's Red Dead Redemption. You have to have some redeeming qualities. And you look at the first one.
The redemption part's pretty clear, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You look at the first...
You off.
No, you're
the
fine,
redemption part is in the name. Like, hello. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the first one, John's trying to redeem himself for all his past actions. You know? And that's by hunting down his old gang members. And 2, it's Arthur trying to redeem all the bad actions he did by saving John and his family. So it's always been about John's family. I can understand where someone might say it's about Jack Marston and him, but I think it's always been about the Marston family. So I think that if you go Red Dead Redemption 3, I think it has to be, if you continue it, we know the ending of 1. No, I'm not going to say spoilers. We know the ending of 2. 3, you got to go with Jack. If you're going to go past the story of 1, because 2 is a prequel, you have to play as Jack. Or you have to, 3 would have to be a prequel of 2, and you would have to play as someone else. So I mean,
yeah, who knows?
Yeah, you play as John before he decided to leave the gang in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is like mentioned a lot in the beginning of 2. So I don't know, it's something like that. That's how I look at it. And a couple of things I would like, it's kind of like a wish list. 1, give more to multiplayer. Please, don't just give up on it because you're not making the revenue. Again, I talked about it before, so I'm going to sound like stupid talking out of both sides of my mouth, but I'll say it anyways. People love the franchise. I wish that they did more with online, like they did with 2. A bunch of people were speculating that they were going to bring Mexico back. I don't know if that would have been possible because there is a part of the game where you invade Fort Mercer. Well, this is online.
Oh.
You invade Fort Mercer,
right.
and Fort Mercer was on the border to Mexico. Like, it was right there.
Yes.
And when you play the online, the people that you're chasing after, they go to Mexico. So there was a thing where people were saying, they're going to add Mexico. They're going to add Mexico. They're going to add it. And I don't know if that... I mean, if Rockstar believed that much that, oh, Red Dead Online is going to be the next big thing. We're going to make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to the point that they were like, we're going to make a whole new map for it. Then they really dropped the ball with it. Like, they really messed up. Like, they over-predicted the microtransactions. Because I think Red Dead's a more mature game than GTA. Genuinely. I think it's a more mature audience.
Sure. The storyline is way more mature. I mean, GTA 5 is where you fuck shit up and you just do what you need to do. I mean, it's not even close compared to the two stories and what they do.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at, again, like, GTA Online, like, they had it flying bikes. I mean, hovercrafts, cars that jump. Everything has missile fucking locks now. Excuse my language. Mm-hmm. But it's annoying. I'm just trying to sell my damn large warehouse. Damn 10-year-old, leave me alone. Stop harassing me. It's legit what happens. Those damn 10 to like 12-year-olds are harassing me. If I was Cyrax, another known lolcow, I probably would like that, but I don't.
Get away from me.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I feel like oh damn, who was the person? It was leave Brittany alone.
Oh yeah, his last name was, or I think she actually is trans now, but it was something Crockett or whatever.
Chris Crocker.
Chris Crocker, yes,
yeah.
And I think Chris Crocker is changed her name.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like. So it's Tara Cunningham now. It's like a whole different name.
No,
but it was Chris Crocker at the time.
No.
Yeah, no, that's what it says here.
I don't like that. I don't know. You will forever be Chris Crocker to me, man. That was.
I know.
That's crazy.
He was super gay guy. Now she's a super gay woman. I don't know. Like,
no, I mean, be whatever you want. I don't really care.
Be whatever you want, but you were always late.
To me, you will always be, leave Brittany alone. Leave her alone. She shouldn't perform for you bastards. That was the best.
Leave Brittany alone.
That was the best thing ever. She shouldn't perform for you bastards. Like, that was the best. But, like, that's me on GTA Online. I'm glad that they made it so you can do stuff in invite-only sessions. I'm a loner. I do not care. I will play in a private session. I do not want to interact with people. I am an introvert on GTA Online.
Which is hilarious because you will always be like, in real life, but in online you're like, I just want to play my game. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I send you audio messages of me just doing that. Just
And I always get confused every time, but it's like, all right, Mitchell, thanks.
Dude, you are welcome. You're welcome. Be blessed that... Think about it. You're blessed that I sent you those photos. I gotta show you a photo.
You could call it that. I don't know if I'd agree with that description, but you could call it that.
Evan, I could tell. You're blushing. Anyways, I'm gonna send you a photo from something from my job, too. You're gonna love it. You're gonna die laughing. I'm gonna send it to you after.
Oh, God.
But, back to the Red Dead Redemption 3 thing. Again, like, with the multiplayer... Just, you gotta kind of tough it out a little bit. Like, bite the bullet. You know, your fans... Rockstar has some of the best fans. They have fans that...
Yeah.
They keep them in the dark. Like, they never post anything. You never hear them coming out. Yeah. Like, they post a trailer once in a blue moon because, I mean, they don't make too many freaking games. And they're just like...
They don't.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, we'll tell you when we want to.
It's like their shareholders, they're just at meetings like, okay, we got to think of the next best thing. What are we going to do? Oh, let's do a new update on GTA Online. Yes, I agree. Let's do it. And then they'll just keep updating. Meanwhile, they're not making any newer games. They're not putting anything out. They're just doing the next update so that they can make money quicker and faster.
Yeah.
And and I want to interject just a little bit because I think that a lot of these storytelling industries, they actually are in a very similar place. Video games, even movies, TV, all these production companies, because they only care about putting out content. They don't truly care about innovation or about storytelling or about art or anything like that. Rockstar is in a very similar position to all the major studios and all the major TV networks and all of these things. And you pointed it out earlier. But I agree with you. But it's like, what is the quickest way to make a buck? It isn't to make a brand new game. It isn't to develop a new IP or franchise. No, it's just to make the frickin' DLCs, the microtransactions, like all of these things. And people, when certain places they do it right and they get it right, they will go forward and they'll appreciate it. And guess what? It's good for business. But then when these people make these very cynically calculated moves, people and the fans, they end up getting really upset about it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the thing. We talked about this when we did like a test stream, where, PS3 360 era, I feel like that was the last great era because you see all these games that were just like one-offs, or maybe they made two and that was it. Kane and Lynch, and then they made Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days. I don't know if you played Kane and Lynch.
No.
Great. It's a co-op shooter. You can play as Kane or Lynch in the name. And the very first one, so it's about first one, if you play single player by yourself, you play as Kane, but in the second one, if you play single player, you play as Lynch. And what the first one is about this guy Kane. He gets involved with this group called the Seven, and they control everything. And since they control everything, he owes them money, so he has to try to go ahead and get the money back for the Seven. And they have his daughter and his ex-wife hostage, and they tell him, we're going to kill him if you don't go ahead and get us our money. So the beginning of the game, that's what happens. They break you out of jail and say, you must do this. Then, it spirals out of that. Second game takes place after those events. And it's Lynch. He lives in Shanghai now. And he is, he's married. He has a new wife. And he's doing a deal with Kane, who comes in from wherever he lives. And they just pretty much, they get caught up in some stuff. That's literally the second one. And they try to escape Shanghai. That's the second game. But the gritty details, the nature of everything, like when you think of like criminal underworld, like you think of something that's like very, very gritty, very scary. And the way that they in the first game, like they don't think twice about killing people, and like they're very ruthless. Like the verbiage that they use, like you play GTA and they're just like, yo Mike, dudes are shooting at me, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, Franklin's getting shot at. No one would ever talk like that in a gunfight. And then you go ahead and you play Kane and Lynch, and when they're fighting and they're getting shot at, there's a cutscene where Lynch is up against the wall and he has his head like this, and he's like, Kane, my fucking ears are bleeding, and he's like, just, it's the most randomest thing, but it's like, that's real, yeah, I can see that happening. So and just the way that they like interact with people, when Kane gets saved from the prison van, he says to this guy, he's like, who the fuck are you? And the guy replies was like, we just saved your ass. You're not gonna be asking any fucking questions. And then Kane was like, do you know who I am? Don't fucking talk to me like that. The dude hits him with the butt of the gun, breaks his nose right there. Ooh. Just bops him. And then for the rest of the game, he has the bandage on there. His nose is broken for the whole game.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, like just the verbiage, the way that they interact. Yeah, they curse a lot, but I mean, they're freaking criminals, man. I don't care.
Exactly.
Like again, like games from that generation, you know, like Assassin's Creed, like they weren't sure about Assassin's Creed. They made Assassin's Creed and they weren't sure, and that was from the PS3 era.
Right.
The second Assassin's Creed, one of the best games I've ever played. I put it in my I played on the PS3 alone. I probably played over 200 games, so I would put it in my top 20 games of all time. Call of Duty World at War. It was a one-off World at War with the COD perk system and that whole cycle. And with that, it was a one-off World War II game. The way that what's his name, Reznov interacted with the soldiers, the Nazi soldiers, that is, he said, "Burn them, set them on fire." That was incredible, and I'm gonna have to edit that word out because you can't say that on YouTube. Thanks, Kanye.
We'll probably have to edit out a bunch of words, but who knows? I mean, I'm sure we can figure it out. We're still figuring it out, folks. We got a lot of technological issues and editing issues.
I mean, you can curse on curse on YouTube, but
there was you can curse on YouTube. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but as you were saying,
you can't say certain words that are against TOS terms of service, but you can definitely curse.
Yeah, but you were saying.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, in the conversation, it reminded me of there was a game. I never personally played it, but I knew people who did, called Spec Ops: The Line, which is a military-style game. That's my number 3. Number 3, yeah. What I know of it is that it's very intense, but there are a lot of very interesting things that it takes you through, sort of the military experience and things that you go through during war, and the story is very, very heavy and very intense. And the way, if I recall correctly, the way it was advertised was kind of similar to a lot of first-person shooters like Call of Duty or any of those really popular, very, very successful franchises. But it was a very deep, very serious, and introspective game in terms of its function. Yep. That is a massive thing that I think the video game industry and any industry that does storytelling is missing. It's like, sell them on something that might be interesting to them, but then give them something else that's deeper and more meaningful and impactful. But I again, never played the game before, but I have massive respect for a game that can really do that could appeal to a wider audience, but then do something and go even deeper than it was people were expecting.
Yep, and to add on to your point about that game, so, typically with games, if you die and you hit a loading screen, they'll teach you something. They'll be like, "Oh, do this." They know that by like the last 4 chapters of the game, they're like, "You know how to play the game. Okay, we're not going to give you advice." So the hint at the bottom of the screen on the loading screen, they make fun of you. They criticize you. They go. There's a part where you go ahead and I don't want to say anything because of spoilers. But after you take part in something that's terrible, they goes ahead and it's like, if you die, it'll be on the bottom. Do you feel like a hero yet? And I'm like, damn, bro, that's tough. That's tough.
That's hard.
Yeah, and it just, there's just things like that the whole time, and it's absolutely insane to me. They have that, and then they dive into PTSD and stuff like that, and they
exactly. Yeah.
And one of the things that they say in another loading screen is they'll be like, "Oh, Lugo was the lucky one, he would have had PTSD," and I'm like,
"Oh wow."
What? Yeah, they mention random people that you interact with, they'll say a bunch of crazy things, but I there's a line from that game, and it's not a spoiler if I say it, so I'm gonna say it, but your main character, he goes ahead and he's again, it's at the end of the game. I'm not gonna say what happens. I'm just gonna say the line, and he goes, "I never meant to hurt anyone." And every time I hear it when I play it, I'm like, that's tough. That, when he says that, I'm like, damn, just damn. That was that's here. But like you said, with the emotion, any type of media project. Sometimes you need a Kevin Hart movie. Sometimes you need a Will Ferrell movie where you just laugh at stupid stuff. Those serve a purpose. And you know,
Right.
but you also still need something that conveys emotion. You need something that tells it like it is. You need something that shows history the way that it was. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't Call of Duty Vanguard it and be like, you were fighting some bad people during World War II. Who were we fighting in Europe? There were some bad people over there that you were fighting. What were their names? The bad guys. The online is when you play online, it's Allied forces versus enemy forces. Dumbest thing ever. What happens when you play Call of Duty World at War? Plays the Americans. Who are you fighting? Fighting Japan, baby. In the European one, you're fighting as the Russians. Who are you fighting? You know who. So, you know, and like I can understand them maybe not putting certain imagery out there, Kanye.
Sure.
But
yeah, right.
Yeah, but putting
learn from that, Kanye.
Learn from that guy. But you know, not putting that type of imagery out there. I get that. But there still is a way that you don't put that out there, but still respect history. And that's, you know, again, when it comes to history, you have to do that. When it comes to, you know, conveying a story or you know, evoking emotion, there's a way to do that without looking at the camera and then telling your fans, like, you're an idiot. You should feel sorry for this character. And that's something that, I mean, we'll talk about, like, stuff like this later, because there was a topic that I wanted to talk about, and I'm surprised you brought Spec Ops: The Line, because that's actually one of the games I wanted to talk about. And I think, I don't know if you actually saw one of the documents, I'll say it on here, you know, so we go ahead, we make documents, and when we make documents, we talk about different topics we want to talk about, and one of them I wrote was, like, games that deserve remasters or sequels, and Spec Ops: The Line was actually one of the games I put on there.
Yeah, no, you know, it's funny. I honestly it didn't cross my mind that was in the notes. It was literally just naturally it came into my head, and I'm like, yeah, like I should just bring this up because it was so relevant to what we were discussing, especially the innovation part, because I do feel like it is a very underappreciated game.
It is.
And not many people know about it.
It's not
but the fact that I personally know about it because of a friend of mine that told me, I'm like, I really, really respect this.
I bought it on PS3. Thought I lost it, and then I rebought it on the 360. I beat it on the 360. A week later, I found it on my PS3.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I found the disc. I had it. I put it in a. So I had a cubby, like ones that you pull out. I kind of have them over here in the background. You can't really see it, but like, oh, yeah, see, like if I do it with my hand, you can see it. Like, yeah, you pull them out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I had them filled with games, and I had like all my PS3 games, and I was trying to look through it to find it. I was like, I put all my PS3 games in here, but what happened is I had so many PS3 games, I didn't put them in just one. I took some out to make it less weight. That's what it was. Totally slipped my mind. I put some into a box, and then I found that one, and I totally forgot I had all these other games, and it should have came to my mind because my mom bought me Modern Warfare 2. 2009 Modern Warfare 2. She bought me a copy of it, and I had it for the longest time. I never took it out of the plastic.
Oh.
She bought it for me when she was overseas. She's military, as you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So she bought it for me, had it delivered day one from Amazon.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I didn't know she got it for me. It was supposed to be a surprise.
That's amazing.
So my grandmother actually picked me, well, she didn't pick me up. My grandfather picked me up from school, because I was staying with them because she was overseas. My grandfather picked me up, brought me home. My grandmother then brought me to GameStop, got me the game, and I can tell you all the games that I traded in. I traded Area 51 Black Site. I traded, it was called Hard Ops or something like that. I have to find it. It was like a weird. It was like Denied Ops or something like that. It was a game really popular on PS2. They brought it to PS3. Flopped. But it was like Denied Ops. Haze. It was a PS3 exclusive. Haze. It sucked. it was the marketing overhyped it. They said it was the Halo killer. Absolutely not. some sports games at the times, like Madden '08, Madden '09, those ones. And I had the NBA Lives and NBA 2Ks. Like, people bought me 2Ks for, like, Christmas, and I was, like, sick. And then I had people that bought me NBA Live, and I was like, why do I need 2 basketball games from the same year? Sick. And I traded those in. I literally had NBA Live '09 and '08, and I traded that one in, and same thing with 2K. Actually, I didn't trade in 2K7. That one I didn't trade in. I don't know why. I always liked Shaq. I thought he was funny, so I never traded it in because he was the cover athlete.
Nice.
It's like their most random reason to keep a game. You want to trade it in? No. Why? Well, Shaq's on the cover, man. What am I... Can't just trade that in. Like, I was... God, what grade were we in? We were in 7th grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But,
wow.
So I ended up buying it, and then the copy that I got from my mom, what I did was I put it to the side. And then the one that I bought at the store, I opened it up, I put it in the console, and then I took that one out. I don't know why, but I wanted to make sure I didn't use that one. So like I put it to the side. I opened the package, I saw what it was, and I was like, leave it in the package. I put it on top of like where I had my TV, and I took the other one. I opened it up. I put it in the package. Unfortunately, though, when I moved out and I had an apartment when I first moved out, my cat Figaro climbed in there and pissed on the plastic, so I had to rip it off.
Oh no!
Yeah. So
bad Figaro.
Now it's opened. Thanks, Figaro. But he had blockage in his urethra, so it was a whole thing. He was pissing everywhere. It was bad.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, he almost died, but he's healthy now.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
We went on a tangent there, but but Red Dead Redemption 3, like we were talking about before, bring it back. Yeah. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna be very, very, very late from when the game first came out. I think 15 years.
Sure.
And part of me is worried because I think it's going to be so long. That's one. But two, part of me is also worried because I believe that it's going to be so tough for it to top the second one. And I don't think they're going to put as much effort as they did into the second one because of the online aspect of the game. I think that they are just going to go ahead and just not put that much time, energy, and effort into the game because they are just so much about microtransactions. Because they are so much about just their bottom line. And again, if they genuinely believe that Red Dead Online was going to be such a big hit that they can ride it for another 10 years and they were going to add Mexico, which was a belief in the community, Rockstar never said anything, then they really dropped the ball. And you have to ask yourself, a company like RockStar Games that is constantly producing content for GTA Online, getting microtransactions,
right?
Are they going to put that much time, energy, and effort into Red Dead Redemption 3, or whatever it's called, to go ahead and to not get the funds in return? No. The initial sales don't matter anymore. It's the microtransactions. That's what it's all about, microtransactions. So
yeah, at this point we know what their priorities are, and so I don't have a lot of confidence. Hopefully they can prove us wrong, but yeah, it's those microtransactions, it's those DLCs, it's like the quickest buck you can possibly get. So all we can do is see. We'll just see what happens. But I'm very skeptical too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's very disappointing too, just because of how good this game was, and the potential that it had. Like, people checked the game files and they were like, "Oh, they're gonna add houses. You can buy houses in Saint Denis. You can buy this. You can buy that." And nope, because they didn't meet some quota. They said nope, not adding it. And again, just disappointing. And I think again because it's just for a mature audience. Like, it might say, I got the cover right here. It might say that. There we go. It might say that, but we know who's playing GTA. Those pesky 10-year-olds blowing me up with flying hovercrafts. Not anymore, kid. I'm in an invite-only session. But that's, again, they make it for a mature audience only. That's really what Red Dead Redemption 2 is, for a mature audience only.
All it is. Yeah.
And the kids aren't going to come in and use mommy's credit card to buy hovercrafts with Missile lock. Piss off. I hate that thing. I hate that thing so much. Evan, I have a grudge. Jesus has Satan. I have the oppressor Mark II. That is how it is foretold, Evan. That is how it is foretold.
Foretold on the scrolls. Yeah.
the scrolls in the great beyond.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I mean, again, like anything else, Evan, before we go to the next topic?
Yeah, no, I think we just about covered it, but I think the bottom line is if Rockstar, if they're serious and if they're a serious company and if they really want to get on good graces with their fans, they got to prioritize the game. They got to prioritize the vision for whatever they do next, whether it be Grand Theft. What am I saying? Red Dead Redemption 3, Grand Theft Auto 6, whatever else they may end up doing, they have to put their money where their mouth is instead of just asking the fans for more money. So, there you go.
Agreed. Another thing too, again, this is our first episode, so we're still trying to figure things out. We're trying to get our thoughts together. We just went rambling for a little bit, but I think it was great. It was natural. Everything went good. But we're trying to go through topics that we think like that interest us, and we're trying to again figure out the format, figure out how things go. And one thing that I am very big into, and actually wait, one more thing before I get into that. We talked about how what we want, like kind of the idea that we want is I present things to Evan, we talk about it. Evan presents things to me, and we talk about it. And that's how we think it should go.
Yeah.
So, right. Again, that's how we're thinking the show is going to go. And one thing that I am very much big into is the LolCow community. Not LolCow Live, just the LolCow community in general. And that's a very broad thing. There's a lot of people in the LolCow sphere. You got your LTGs, low tier god. Oh, sorry. Low tier god. Got him. You got the Cyrax. You got the Cyrax sphere. The bitch. You got the wings. Oh, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
You got
my lord.
You got the boogie. This would be a Mountain Dew. You got the Anacondason. You got King Cobra. But there's one man. And I always go ahead and say he is a Phil called man. And that is one DSP. DarkSydePhil. Huh? What? And everyone knows DSP, or has heard of him. This guy has been around for a very, very, very long time. And just a little bit, like, we talked about talking about Phil, but we want to do it in parts. Because there's so much about this guy. Just so much. And
apparently, I didn't realize there were that many parts, and then Mitchell showed me the notes, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot to go over.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Let's go into the deep end in our first episode of the show.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, we're not going to go into the deep end. We're gonna for DSP content, I mean, there's stuff, Evan, that if we went into it, it's like, there's some things that if we were to talk about, it's like a snowflake on the tip of an iceberg. Oh boy. Like, that's how much content there is about this guy. There's one dude, his name is ALT Insider. Mm-hmm. And what he does is he goes ahead and he actually looks at stuff from the past on SOK forums, which is Street Fighter forums, and he checks out all these different there's all these crazy websites and radio shows and stuff from the past, and like DSP is like a part of all of it. And there's even a thing where this dude used a Best Buy receipt to measure his Johnson.
Oh no.
Yeah, like there's crazy stuff, and like again, it's insane. And I think like the way that we got to talk about this, the way that I laid it out is in part 1. I kind of talk about what it's a very, very broad thing about DSP. Very, very, very broad. So, DSP, or, God damn it, Philip Dave Burnell, as he is known, that is his government name, DSP, or DSP Gaming, which is his YouTube page. He's a YouTuber. He's been on the platform for over 16 years. 16 years this guy has been making videos. And for clarity, I am 28. Evan, you are also 28.
I'm actually 29.
Oh, you're 29. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Close enough.
28, 29.
I'm going to be 30 this year, which, holy shit.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm turning 29, and I was like, oh my god. But, DSP, again, you're 29, I'm 28. DSP has been making content since we were in middle school.
Unbelievable.
And this guy has not let up. He posts like 10 video, like he back then he was posting like 10 to 20 videos a day, 10 minutes long. And it was just him with a camera, a video camera on a coffee table, just recording his TV.
Sure.
And it was just him saying stuff. And I got clips, I got like audio files that we will play at some point in time. Not this episode, but later episodes of him saying the most horrendous shit. Like,
oh boy.
And I'm not trying to go ahead and say like, oh, go criticize him for this. The problem is that he's done these things, he still does these things, and he tries to act like I've changed. It's not true. And he'll say like, oh, that's a character. No, it's not. It's not a character. But sticking with the whole broad explanation of DSP, he is a content creator on YouTube who is known for three main things. One, he plays video games and he sucks at them. Two, he begs his audience for money on the daily. Oh, sorry. He only streams 6 out of 7 days a week, so still an everyday idiot snort. But that's just what he does. So every time he streams, he begs his fans. And he'll say, my favorite is when he goes, now guys, you gotta understand, if you don't donate monies, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to eat a lunch meat sandwich. And no one wants to do that. It's like,
apparently not.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with having a turkey and cheese sandwich, man? It's delicious. I might have one after we're done with this. But that's what he does. Right. He does stuff like that, and he tries to make people pity him. So again, he plays video games, bad at them. The begging. Third, the lying. He's known for being one of the biggest liars on the internet. He has been caught numerous amount of times. People that are not in the community, or the DSP vortex as they call it, they look at the stuff from the outside going in. So for me, for example, I went ahead and I watched DSP a few times growing up because he had some games that I wanted to get, but I didn't have a job. I was in middle school, so I just said, let me just watch this guy play the game. And he played the whole game. So he would buy the game Tuesday, it'd be done by Thursday, and I would just watch him play the game. So you could say I wouldn't say I was a fan, but I was a consumer. So I watched the videos, and that was it. And I got introduced to him through Wings later on. So I kind of grew out of like watching gameplay videos on YouTube, and then I started watching a bunch of football stuff. Like in high school, I'd watch all these football videos. That was my thing. I'd watch that, and then I would watch I found some channels that would post free episodes of shows. So YouTube became Netflix for me. Oh. And yeah, I thought
they were for a bit experimenting with like putting like TV shows on YouTube.
No. Like there were people that were uploading full episodes of Breaking Bad illegally.
Yeah. Oh well, that's the illegal stuff. But then eventually they actually did go into it, and then But anyway, yeah. No, that I remember that period.
Yeah, so I watched like the first like 3 seasons of Breaking Bad. Maybe it was the first 2. It was like first 2 or 3 seasons of Breaking Bad. I watched it all on YouTube for free.
Wow.
And then I remember one guy going, if I get 10,000 likes, I'll post season 4.
Oh,
but yeah, it was, again, what a time to be alive. So
What a
that's
time.
that's what I grew into watching when I was in high school. I was watching those type of videos. Then after that, you know, right after I graduated high school, I saw a video, and God bless the YouTube algorithm. It was from Sixms, or Sixms. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but it was a rage compilation of Wings of Redemption. And I remember watching Wings back on PKA, and I used to watch that in middle school also. PKA Painkiller already with Woody's gamer tag, and there was a redneck guy on there. I think his name might have just been Redneck. I don't remember, but it was before they had FPS Russia, and I remember Wings got kicked off the show, and I felt so bad. I was like, man, they kicked Wings off. Why'd they do that? I didn't know the full context. I'm a middle school kid, and again, I used to watch him for a little bit in middle school. Then, kind of grew out of it. And after high school, I rediscovered Wings. Tell you the truth, thought he was dead. Thought he was dead because of how big he was. I thought, there's no way this guy's going to live that long. And not that I was wishing it on him. Not that I was like, I hope. No, I went, he's alive? What? No way. And I started watching videos of him playing live, and he was raging. Like, I remember watching a video where he was like, I'm sick and tired of this fucking chat, and then he was like, after this game, I'm done. Like, and he was getting so pissed off, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. So, one time he's like, why don't you guys ever go do this to, like, DSP? And I was like, why does that sound so familiar? And I searched it up, and then I rediscovered Phil, and I'm like, this guy's still doing this? What? Then, I was like, what? And I watched it. I'm like, oh, he upgraded. Because when I used to watch him, he was the coffee table, like, putting the camera there. And I was like, holy shit, dude, this guy just legit is just recording it off of the coffee table, but there was nothing available. You know? It was just, you watched his content because no one else was doing what he was doing. Then I watched it, and then he was just doing crappy comedy. Like, that's the only way I could describe it. And then he was just like, huh? What? Stuart? Like, that's really what it was. And I forgot what it was that I watched of DSP at that time. But there's always a joke of saying the Heavy Rain playthrough. Like, everyone's always like, oh, your Heavy Rain playthrough, Phil. But it wasn't that. I wish it was. That would have been awesome if I just actually watched it during the Heavy Rain playthrough. And I could just tell him, oh, Phil, the way you played Heavy Rain, so lit. But yeah, then he went to streaming because the YouTube ad revenue wasn't doing it for him. And then, like, I didn't watch him live when I rediscovered him. Also, I watched like a replay, and I was like, I can't believe this dude's still doing this. But yeah, then forgot about both of them again. Well, actually, not necessarily Wings. Wings I stayed with for a little bit, and I was just watching all the trolls fuck with him. And all the shit that they did to him, that shit was so funny, dude. Them fucking with him. I don't partake in that stuff. I just watch. That's it. I just watch. And then...
Lolcows is like a spectator sport at this.
It really is. Then the burst of May 1st happened with Phil. Where he got caught beating it on stream. And then he very famously went, oh. And... I rediscovered him again, and I went, no way, dude. There's no way he did this. And, like, they were trying to take all the videos down. It was hard to see. And then Keemstar talked about it. I remember seeing it on Drama Alert. And I don't know why it was on the front page of YouTube for me. I don't watch Drama Alert. And I saw that, and I was like, I'm like, no way, that's him. I clicked on it, sure enough, I was like, no, it's him. So... And then, I don't know, like, during COVID, I got more into the whole troll thing, and then I just kept watching it, man, and it just got good. And I stayed with it. I love watching the lolcow stuff, and there's so many creative people in the lolcow, like, universe. Whether it's the Wings of Redemption vortex, the DSP vortex is my favorite, though. That one, that's a special place in my heart. Shout out to... Fantastic Mr. Sam. Shout out to Steve of the Dead. Shout out to ALT Insider, and shout out to my boyfriend Meerkat Mob. Shout out to the That Being Said podcast.
Meerkat Mom.
Meerkat Mob, yeah, dude. Shout out to my boyfriend. I need my boyfriend. But they do a great program. It's good stuff, and like you can always call in. Well, not really call in. You send in an audio message, but they do a wonderful thing. But again, DSP, 3 things he's known for: playing video games, dog shit at him. Every game he plays, he sucks. He sucks. There was actually a stream where his wife was on, and she was playing on, I think it's like Dundoko Island or something like that, like a Yakuza game. She was doing everything no problem, and Phil on previous team was like, "Huh? Huh?
What?"
When he says the huh, dude, it's I can't do it. When he goes, huh? Like he's so confused. It's like, okay, boomer. Just the straight up, just a huh, cracks me up every time. I can't but he sucks. He sucks at every game he plays.
Yeah, pretty much.
He lies constantly, and then he just begs his audience for money. Like he'll be like, now guys, we hit the tips goal yesterday. Clearly you guys aren't into this game, and if you guys aren't into this game, then I'll just put it away. Pretty much saying they don't call it a rage quit, they call it a wage quit. And that's DSP in a nutshell. He's a guy that just plays video games, gets mad when you say that he's begging for money, while he begs for money, and if you call him out for it, you're a fucking detractor. Why don't you eat shit out of my ass? And that's what he tells people. So
grody and nasty.
That's just what he is. What's your experience with DSP? I know you're not too much into the Vortex, but do you know anything?
I know very, very, to be honest, very little. I literally only knew about him in the last few months, mainly to do because of the show Locale Live, and he had some tiny little involvement, and then he left. So the joke on the show is that DSP, but he's not around anymore. So they should put that in their description of some of their videos. But I only knew of him conceptually. But then Mitchell, you showed me the video where he does the and I saw it. I'm like, I can't believe this is real right now. Like, this should not be out there at all. Yeah. I was like, oh. And by the way, you know what was really funny was that I looked at him and I'm like, why does he look so familiar to me? And I actually know why. Because he looks like Dante Hicks from Clerks.
That is a common thing that people say. That the DSP has always been asked if someone was to play you in a movie, who would play you? And I think he always says like Bill Burr or something not Bill Burr, Bill Murray. He said that, or I think he said Bill Murray. I forgot who it was, but everyone's everyone always says Dante Hicks from Clerks. They're like, that's the
Dante
guy.
Hicks from Clerks,
dude. That is the guy. 100%.
Or Brian O'Halloran, who plays Dante.
Yeah.
But yes,
yeah. I actually have a photo with him and my mom. And my sister.
Really?
Yeah, they did a thing out here, and we went to it. Oh. Yeah, it was a good time. I'll send you the photos.
That's awesome. Oh, wow! You met Brian O'Halloran, and you met the other guy too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We met Randall, and then Randall was just like, "Oh man, what a happy family," and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, he's like, husband, wife, daughter. I was like, "That's my mom," and he went, "Holy shit! I look like ass. Whatever you're doing, lady, keep doing it." My mom's incredibly young looking. I look like shit. So yeah, like he thought my sister was my daughter.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Fuck, dude, I really look that bad? Damn, bro. But whatever. But yeah, no, DSP again in a nutshell. Dope, bro. Straight up dope. And that's how I know DSP. I was like, I've known him for a long, like I knew of him, and I consumed his product, where I went ahead and I watched him back in the day where he was the king of YouTube. And a couple other things too. He used to call himself the king of hate. And he used to say like, I used to hate to fuel me. If you hate my content, well guess what? I don't care. I use it to make more content. And it was like this whole like, I'm the underdog. Like, no, you're not, dude. Just some jabroni that plays video games online and made money. And we're going to talk about where some of that money went later on. Like, I want to introduce you. Again, when we talk about DSP, we're gonna go into parts, baby. We're gonna go into nitty gritty details, and like we're talking about it now, we're gonna go into a lot of things, and yeah, like I want to talk about where he grew up. I want to talk about some of the things he did prior to YouTube. Like he mentions this one helicopter company that he worked for, and bro, everyone can tell that helicopter story now because he has told it so many times. And it honestly, I think it's one of the few things that he's genuinely tells the truth about because it's always been somewhat, like, consistent. Like, some of the verbiage has changed a little bit, but the general thing is the same. And so I think, genuinely, that's one of the few things online that he talks about that I think he's telling the truth. There's days I question if his name's really Phil.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean we're gonna dive into
cover of a cover because DSPdemption, and who knows what his real name could possibly be.
His name could be. They said this on the side scroll is DarkSydePhil. Maybe DarkSydePhil.
Intriguing.
We're bringing it back. No, I'm joking. But that's DSP, and again I can't. We want to talk. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about Cyrax. I want to talk about Wings. Big ups to Wingo. Or as they call him, Sucking Sam, the vacuum, the vacuum repair salesman.
Oh no!
Oh, dude.
Oh my lord!
Oh, come the fuck on, man! All I was trying to do is I was trying to have a good game. I hate my life.
Oh man!
Oh, dude, that one of the best things ever. One of the best things ever. That and when he went, when he told that dude, I didn't see this live. I watched it on a clip. He's like, yeah, whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
Oh God.
Someone made it into a song. It's his name is well, I don't know if it's a he or she or what they identify as. It's their name is Liquid Richard. So if you ever hear anyone say "Big ups Liquid Richard," it's the person that makes music about Wing. I think they actually I think they put it on YouTube, not YouTube, on Spotify.
Yeah.
Big ups Liquid Richard.
Liquid Richard.
This is a Liquid Richard production. Well, the reason why is because they kept calling him Richard, and then he said that he was gonna have to go on like a liquid diet, so they just.
Oh. Big ups. I was like, Liquid Richard. Why can't it be Solid Richard?
No, it should be Chili Richard.
Chili Richard. It should be a Gas Richard.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Again, like there's so much. There's so much that we want to talk about, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna cover it all on Internet Uncapped.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, Evan?
Well. No. If that's it, I think we can wrap it up. We can wrap up the show for the day. I will be going over the next few topics in the next episode. I think we should. I don't know how we're gonna sign off. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's time to get out of here.
Well, we'll have to do like some sort of outro, or maybe I'll just have to edit it in there or something. But for right now, I got some music for us. Oh, and it played on my phone. That's sick. Nailed it.
Yep. So are we still on the episode, or are we?
Yeah, we're still on there. But just give me one.
Okay, we're still on.
We're still Evan, stop! No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I gotcha. But again, this is the first episode, and we're hoping to go ahead and we're gonna keep building, and as we keep going, hopefully everything goes good. But appreciate everyone tuning in today, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But thank you for everyone tuning in. Hope everyone has a good one. Whatever you believe, bless. Deuces.
All right. See you soon.